This is the plaintiff, Robert McDowell. He says his former fiancée, the defendant, gave his beloved dog Harry away when he was in a rehab facility. And now that he's out, he's devastated. Harry's been with him for 7 years. She had no right giving him away. Won't tell him where he is. And she needs to give him the $1,500 it's going to cost him to get another dog. This is the defendant, Julia Cortez. She says the plaintiff, the man she was once going to marry, had a very bad drinking problem. He was mistreating his dog. He would punch the dog in the jaw, leave him out in the sweltering heat, and he was picked up by the cops because he was wandering loose in the next town. The plaintiff was clueless because of his problem, and she did what she thought was best. She's accused of giving Harry a better home.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Please seat it. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Robert McDowell?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you are suing your former friend, Julia Cortez, for $1,500, the value of your dog, which, according to you, she, without your consent, gave to a shelter, that gave away to a new home. What happened?
That's correct. However, I don't know what the truth is of the whereabouts of the dog. She told me 3 different stories, and
Well,
now
let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
How do you know each other?
We used to work together in New Jersey in a cabinet shop. She was in the office, and I was in the shop, and I met her through my job. And she drove me to the bank to cash my check, and we dated for like one time. And then she became my friend. And then she became close with my mother through the years. I've known her about 15.
You dated one time?
15 years, yes, ma'am.
According to you, you were supposed to get married?
Mm-hmm.
You dated one time, you were supposed to get married?
No.
That's what all you other girls have been doing wrong.
No, it wasn't like that.
Did you date more than one time?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, in any event, according to you, she's like a sister to you. And what happened?
Okay. I was like out of control, and my brother and
what is like out of control?
Well, I was drinking in excess and on a daily basis, and my brother and Julie and John here. John came into my life. Someone sent him for me.
Are you in treatment now?
No. Yes, I am. Yes.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, the 3 of these people got together, my friends, my brother and my 2 friends here, and they decided I should go to rehab. And Julie said she would watch my dog, come and let him out, and take care of him. And then when I came home from rehab.
Okay, hold on. What period of time was this? When was this?
Let's see. It was like 4 months ago.
Okay. And she told you she'd watch your dog, she'd come over, feed the dog, walk the dog, let the dog out, and when you came home from rehab?
There was no dog. So I said, Julie, where's my dog? Where's Aaron? And she says, he's in a better place now, better home.
Okay. And then you said?
I said, no, I want my dog. It's my dog. It's my dog. I trained him. It's my dog. I want my dog back. What's the address? Where is he? You had no right selling him or getting rid of him. I own the dog. I want my dog. Give me the address. I'll go there and get my dog right now.
What kind of dog?
And she wouldn't tell me the address. She wouldn't tell me what happened to the dog. She gave me 3 stories. One that the vet put him down because he was angry towards the other dogs through separation anxiety or whatever. That was one story. Another story was a home in Pennsylvania adopted him. She had him neutered. And I just want my dog
What was the
back.
third story?
The third story, that an agency had the dog adopted and she didn't know the whereabouts of him.
I'm coming to you in a minute.
Okay.
What kind of dog was this?
A special dog, a Weimaraner. It's the European hunting dog, and they're very expensive. And I trained him for 7 years to be special to me. He was my transportation.
What do you mean he was your transportation?
I have a special harness for him, and I skateboard with him. Because I lost my license, and I have no way to get around except bicycle and Harry. And also, he was a watchdog.
What's going on, Ms. Cortez?
Oh my God. The dog was truly running up and down the streets. There's 54 police summonses.
There's what?
54 tickets. You know,
Do you have proof
summonses.
of that? Do you have proof of that?
No, I don't have it with
Well, where
me.
did you learn that?
The police department was working closely with me and ordered that he had all of these tickets for having an unleashed dog within
Okay, can I just see evidence of that? That's not hard to get.
I know, but I've been working and I forgot till last night. Only thing I have is emails of everything.
What'd you do?
Well, when he went in, he told me that to take care of everything. Yes, I was taking care of the dog.
Right.
And I have 2 Yorkies this big, 8 inches, and the dog is out of control. I love the dog to death, if anybody. He was being abused there.
What evidence do you have that he was being abused there?
He let all the neighbors on the block could verify that.
I'm listening to your case. This is what I do. I put on a black dress, I come out here, and then people prove things. Not just they flap their gums, they prove things. You're making some really serious accusations.
It is serious.
Can you prove any of them? Do you have a single affidavit from a single neighbor saying that that dog was abused? Did you ever witness a dog being abused?
Yes.
Okay, now start talking.
He showed me in the living room when I went in there, and I said, have you fed the dog? Because I'm coming 50 miles to come feed the dog. That's ridiculous. You haven't fed. He said he hasn't eaten in 3 days because he's sitting there. He was out of control.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Said.
He's talking to you, and he's in his own living room.
Yes.
And he tells you, my dog who's next to me hasn't eaten in 3 days.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Did that happen?
No.
I swear to Jesus.
Do you have, well, don't swear to Jesus in front of me, all right? Will you do me a favor and tell me if there's all the neighbors who can testify and the police have 50-something complaints of all this? Not that it matters, but it just, since you're making these accusations, I would like you to back them up.
His dog was being abused. Oh, no.
Wait, what abuse?
I didn't do
The dog was being abused how? Wait a minute. The only thing you've said is you claim he told you once he hadn't fed the dog in 3 days. He denies it. What other abuse did you see that dog endure?
Okay.
Other than that he's a mess. He has to get his life together. And so he picked somebody to take care of the dog. He did what a responsible dog owner should do when they're going through crisis. He picked somebody to take care of the dog. Yeah. You're that somebody. Okay. Turns out that was his bad move, picking you. Because you decided to play judge, jury, and executioner on his property. Because the dog is property. I know everybody thinks the dog is a human. The dog is not a human. In the eyes of the law, the dog is property. Okay? But let's just say that your opinion is that I abuse my child. That's your opinion. What are you going to do? Go in the middle of the night, take my child, and take it away from me? I mean, that's not how life works. You are not judge, jury, and executioner.
No, I'm not.
So where do you come off stealing the guy's dog?
No, I didn't steal the dog.
Yeah, you did.
No.
Where's the dog? Return the dog. Can you do that?
No, I can't.
Why can you not return the dog?
Because when he was out in the street, he had the dog loose. The police impounded him.
And then you did what?
And then he was in there for days, and he told me, go get Harry, go get Harry.
So then you got Harry.
And I started
And then how long were you taking care of Harry after that?
For a week and a half.
And then Harry became too much for you. And then you did what?
He was taking the dog out walking in the next town, and they took the dog and impounded him. And I went to see the dog a few times, and then they said, well,
Lady, what'd you do with the guy's dog? Just answer the question straight up. What did you do?
The what do you call the rescue place? They went and had him transferred to their other facility. And
I'm asking you.
I
Listen to my question.
him.
You surrendered the dog
To them.
to a rescue place. To what rescue place did you surrender the dog?
Boundbrook. What was the name of it?
I don't know, Julie.
You're asking him?
I was in rehab. You two were supposed to
Don't
take
talk
care
to
of
each
He
other.
knows.
What is it? Well, why don't you tell us? You know, you're the one who surrendered it. So where did you surrender the dog to?
To Boundbrook.
Boundbrook?
In Whitehall Station, New Jersey.
Whitehall Station,
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Is this the first you've heard of that?
Yes.
She's never told you that?
No.
So where's the dog now? When did you do that?
He told me that. That's how I know where it was.
He told you where the dog
Yes,
was?
from
I'm not
rehab.
understanding. You're defending yourself and your actions, talking about how the dog, like you're a big savior because the dog was being abused. And then when you hear me grilling you like a cheeseburger, now all of a sudden he told you to give up the dog? Because you've never said that. That wasn't the answer to the complaint. Let's see what your answer to the complaint is. He was mistreating the dog. He was clueless. He kept drinking. I brought him to a rescue so they would place him in a good home. What happened to all that? That's no longer your facts of the case? If you just change the facts to what
the
helps?
police took him to the rescue.
I'm sorry?
The police took him to the rescue.
That's not what your answer says.
I'm mistaken.
I'm pretty sure the police didn't take him to the rescue.
No, there
because
is.
I have 2 or 3 pages of your answer to the complaint where you think that you're some big hero. And then what you have met yourself with, what has happened to you in the last 10 minutes is that you have found that I don't find you to be a hero. I find you to be a meddler.
Welcome back to the People's Court, Harvey Levin here. So if you felt, I mean, this defendant is kind of wacky. I don't know what she's saying, but if you felt that when you were caring for somebody's dog that they were abusing the animals, the person who owned it, would you give the dog away?
Absolutely. The main importance is to make sure that the dog is safe, and if you have to give it away and keep it away from the rightful owner, then...
You think it's legal to do that?
No, I don't know that I would give it away. I mean, I would certainly look for a place where it's safe, but probably more to a professional.
How do I not go to you?
Of course not. I wouldn't give their dog away. I would investigate first.
What would you do if you believed that the dog was being abused?
Probably call the animal shelter.
That's actually, or animal control. That's a good answer. That's a good answer going inside the courtroom.
He was going through a crisis. If he's not a good dog owner, then shame on him. But you don't get to come in and play judge, jury, and executioner. There's a method. There's a procedure for this. You pick up the phone. You call animal control. You tell the police if there's an animal who's being abused. But you are not judge, jury, and executioner. Honest to God.
May I speak for a moment?
You can speak. I don't know how long ago this
was. The dog was in my possession when I went to rehab. He was right in the house next to me.
Trust me. Do you think I need to hear this?
The police
Did you not hear everything I just said? I am completely with you. Now, there are 2 things that I believe you should do. Well, there's one thing you should do, and then there's one thing I'm going to do. Okay? Number 1, now you hear of the name of the place. I don't know if that's honest or not, because I don't believe a word that comes out of her mouth. Okay? But call the place, find out if the dog is still there. And so you have some peace of mind, okay, about where your dog went. If your dog, I don't know how long ago you got out of rehab. You said it was a few months ago. I don't know whether your dog would still be there. Sometimes it's harder to adopt a 7-year-old dog. So maybe the dog still is there. So that's the first thing that you've got to do. Now, I am going to give you, I think that you could do that in the next week, certainly, right?
Oh, today.
Okay. So let's say I'm going to give you a week just to give you a chance to, I don't know how fast you can move and get there and everything else. All right. If you do it sooner, do it sooner. I want something from this place, either telling me she's a liar, that dog was never here, she never surrendered the dog, or no, we no longer have that dog. And then that brings us to phase 2 of my judgment. Okay, because if the dog's not there, then she's going to pay you the value of the dog. Now, you are telling me that the cost to you of a new dog is $1,500.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In the research I've done, that's a little high. Okay.
I have found one in the Southern Kennels on their Weimaraner breeder, and they're 15. The one available now is $1,300 and like $50. 1,300 and something.
So why are you saying 15?
Well, it's...
Put your hand down.
I think it's $1,319 and some odd cents.
Okay.
It's you could look it up right now on the internet.
I did, and when I looked it up on the internet, the prices vary between
Southern
like $900 and $1,100. Stop.
But this is a great...
Yeah, but you need to understand something. A 7-year-old Weimaraner is not worth the same as a puppy Weimaraner. You need to understand that. But whatever I would have reduced your recovery by, I am increasing your recovery for punitive damages. So if in fact you provide to the court paperwork that the dog was never there or is no longer there, I will then order her to pay you $1,000. That is my judgment.
Well, this is the defendant coming out on the hallway here. Step over here. Tell me, do you realize what the judge is saying, that you had no right to act the way you did about the dog?
Yes.
You regret what you did?
No, because it wasn't that story. You know, that what he stated. So that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Do you want him to get his dog back?
He shouldn't have a dog. He abuses the dogs. There's a history in that town. He's very famous for it. I should have provided, but I didn't want to make gossip in the town.
No. Okay.
All right.
Head right around the corner this way. And okay, let's see what the plaintiff has to say. So you heard the judge's ruling here. Step right in here. What do you think of this outcome?
Well, I'm a little disappointed that she dropped the cost of the Weimaraner because I spotted one that's identical to what I had for $1,300.
Would you rather
awarded $1,000?
Get the dog or get the
I
$1,000?
would rather have the dog back. I want the dog back. I want my dog.
Well, why'd you get so emotional in a courtroom like that?
Because I love my dog.
We all love our dogs. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Harvey.
The plaintiff found out about the dog at the animal rescue facility. It turned out the dog had already been adopted, so the plaintiff got $1,000. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.